What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the On the PRST Podcast. And on this podcast, we connect with entrepreneurs, movers, shakers, business people, and just people in general that are just making waves in the industry. And on today's episode, I feel grateful and privileged to have this guy on because this guy is not only is he one of my real life brothers, but we've had so many connections throughout the years from fashion to music, real friendship, Boston, New York, and beyond. I'm happy to introduce Michael Boyd, who's head of artist relations and strategy for Gary Vee, VaynerMedia, and 1:37 p.m. Bro, I'm excited to have you on, man. It's been a while since you and I actually connected. A lot of things have happened. So being able to reconnect with you in this capacity is great because not only do you and I get a chance to reconnect, but we're able to share stories with so many people, and hopefully they're able to gather some inspiration and some motivation, man. So I'm very happy to be here, brother.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here, man. It's good to see you.
I know, right? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, like you mentioned, man, for everyone listening, like we have the same last name. It's crazy.
I know. It's because we got the same father, bro. What are you talking about?
Hey, no, that's kind of how we met a little bit, right? I mean, like people like introduced us off that, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember who, but I remember someone was like, "You got to meet this guy because you're gonna like him, but also you guys have the same name." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it was definitely like a long-standing, running joke that actually became a real life friendship. I would say, off of social media.
Yeah.
And we had the opportunity to meet, obviously in Boston and New York. We connected several times and just, stayed in contact, and we were able to put a couple plays together with music and in fashion, because I had my brand back then that was definitely a staple, I say, in culture in that particular, point and juncture. And
with a lot of artists.
Yeah, a lot of artists.
A lot of big artists.
Actors, who's who, some big retailers too. I mean, it was a good time.
Yeah, you guys were on fire, man.
It was a good time. But yeah, man, so like, I want people to understand a little bit more about you. I know you're normally on the other side. You're normally the one interviewing artists, producers. You're normally the one that's like initiating a lot of these types of content. So I want to peel it back a little bit, give people an idea of like who you are, how you got to your position, what your journey looks like. Obviously, what it looks like to work closely with Gary Vee. You saw everything from the beginning to where you guys are now, and you've grown to like multi-million-dollar company. So yeah, man. So let's just start off there. Like, what does it look like on a day-to-day through your lens working with someone like Gary Vee?
Day to day, most people would say it, but every day is different. But with Gary Vee, every day is exciting. So with my role within the ad agency, I'm connecting a lot of dots, right? So it's like your big name brand, they want to do a commercial, whether it's a Super Bowl commercial or all the way down to like a TikTok, and they need the right music for it. So I help get what I do there with the TikToks is I get emerging producers, emerging artists who, need that opportunity. So it's win-wins. I try to do win-wins all the time. So it's like, if you're an emerging producer and you don't have a big resume, you're not on a lot of albums, I'll give you a shot. You get to work with a brand, you get some money, the brand gets the sound they want, and everyone's happy. You know what I mean? And then there's a Super Bowl commercial. We put Meg Thee Stallion in a Super Bowl commercial with T-Pain and Becky G. It might have been Meg's first Super Bowl commercial. It probably was because it was like 2 or 3 years ago, whatever. And we do stuff like that too, So even with Meg Thee Stallion, it's like, yeah, she's huge, but it might have been her first Super Bowl commercial. It probably was. So it's always like win-win situations, but I'm the person within the agency who's connecting those dots. And if a brand wants to, be popular with this type of music or this city or this region of the United States or somewhere else in the world, I'm asked to help them solve that problem,
So what does that look like? If you're like an emerging artist or producer,
yeah,
and like you said, you've given a lot of people opportunities, you connected a lot of dots. You didn't necessarily have to be a big named artist or producer at the time when you would put something together. But what does that actually look like? Because I feel like a lot of artists and producers, creatives, they feel like they have to be a certain stature before they can start getting looks, before they can start putting deals or plays together, before they can start putting money in their pocket. So like, what do you look for when you're looking for emerging talent? Because like from my vantage point, bro, from knowing you had your I think one of your talents, and obviously I'm not selling you short here because I know you have a lot of talents. But I think one of your talents is like spotting talent, nurturing talent, but really having your finger on the pulse of what's emerging, even years before it emerges.
Yeah,
Like
man.
that's one of the things I first noticed about your skill set and what you've innately been able to be great at.
Thanks, man. That's such a compliment, man. And I really do appreciate it because it means a lot, you know. And I do work hard, and I've gotten it right multiple times with artists early on, you know, and that's what I do for Gary Vee. And what's interesting is now that we have the 1:37 p.m. platform, just this week we're gonna start, because I documented everything. I was lucky enough to be documenting when I found these artists early on. So I have early interviews from 10, 12 years ago with, you know, Future, 2 Chainz back before he called himself 2 Chainz, you know, all that stuff. And so now we're bringing it back to light to help show other people that, you know, yes, we're promoting a new artist from Memphis or this city, but we've been doing this and we have a track record, like you said. So I appreciate it, man. But yeah, when I look for artists right now, I'm looking for engagement to answer your question. You know, like when it comes to TikTok campaigns, I like engaging people who have 10% engagement. So if you have 100,000 followers and you get 10,000 views, you know, that's 10%. So
So
that,
that gets them on the radar.
that gets you on my radar, you know, when I'm trying to do a campaign on TikTok. You know, some people don't operate like that, but I do because I think 10% is pretty cool. But then, you know, I also pay attention like how often you post, because if you only post once a month and you have 10%, that's kind of a red flag, because it's like, why are you only posting once a month? You know, there's a lot of factors, man. Just like music, just like fashion, you know what I mean? It's like there's always so many factors. Like people saying music, and I believe it, you know, the most talented person doesn't always blow up, you know, it's like the whole package, man. So it's like, yeah, you know, if I'm picking an artist, I gotta think about everything the brand wants. But yeah, with TikToks, if you're gonna be chosen as a forward facing content producer who's gonna post for views, having 10% engagement is pretty key to me. You know, not everyone operates like that, but to me, 10% engagement's good. And then as far as music goes, you just have to be talented, you know. Obviously, I can't listen to everyone, but I do listen. And see, that's the thing that I always come back to, is I think I spend more time listening than a lot of people do. And that's how I find people, because I just listen. Like, for example, Tierra Whack, we were really early on her with the playlist. I don't remember how I found her, but I listened to it. And when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, she's so good. So I supported it. You know what I mean? It's like I think a lot of people don't make the time to listen to new stuff. Like when people DM me, I don't get to every DM, but I do listen to a lot of DMs. Or you know what's funny, bro? And then I'll change the subject with you, is I've been asking people, let me hear some, like, who should I put on the playlist? And then people spam me. They just spam me like crazy. Like I'll get 30 people saying the same name over and over again. And then I listen to that person, and then they're amazing. So then I put them on the playlist.
Yeah,
But isn't that weird? Because most people would be like, don't spam me. I'm like, dude, if you are that good that people want to spam me,
yeah.
I should probably playlist you. You know what I mean?
So for those that don't know, for the viewers and also the listeners, which playlist are you referring to?
Yeah. So we have a playlist called Monday to Monday. It's me and Gary Vee. It's our playlist. It's on Spotify and it's on Apple Music. It's a little hard to find on Apple Music, I've been told, because you know, Gary Vee is very popular, man. And our playlist is pretty popular too, relatively speaking. So people make like fake versions, and some
Oh,
people
wow.
duplicate it. Yeah, like if you search on Apple Music for Monday to Monday, you got to kind of pay attention and make sure you're clicking on the one under Gary Vee's account. But the Spotify one is easier to find. But yeah, on Spotify, I think we have 83,000 followers. But here's the most important thing. The people who follow our playlist are passionate about finding new music. So when I put on a new artist onto the playlist, not only do they get streams, but they potentially get new fans who then will support them for the rest of their career. And what's really interesting is I love playlisting people who don't have a lot of plays because they get this jolt, even if it's only like 1,000, right? They get 1,000 new plays in a week because I update it every Monday. So like, let's say someone just gives us 1,000 plays. That bump might affect Spotify's algorithm somehow, and then they get put on release radar for multiple people around the country or the world. Anyway, long story short is like sometimes I playlist people and it's the little spark that then starts this chain reaction. And then people get like so many freaking plays, you wouldn't even believe it. And they literally, some people have even gone on my interview or whatever and said that it was all kind of started with our playlist. It's crazy. It's just, we just find talented people, support them, and sometimes it just goes crazy.
Bro, you did this before though. You were doing this before the playlist even existed. If we dial back to, a lot of like the origins of you, and I actually want to, I want you to shed some light on how you even got into the music like that. But you had the Hip Hop at Lunch blog, bro.
Yeah.
Like you were already doing that. And for those that don't know what a blog is, or for those that may not be familiar with, Mike in that capacity. Mike had a very emergent and popular blog that was also he utilized to put new artists on and bring awareness to artists and producers back then, like when blogs was heavy, Two Dope Boys and all these other ones back then. I mean, that one was very, very popular. But you were right in the mix because I remember like sending you stuff from Society because there was a point in time where like we were working with blogs to do advertisements, banner ads and all types of different things, the little widgets and stuff like that. But you were right in the mix. So the Monday to me is just in this current the current space that it exists. It to me is really just an extension of what you were already doing. It's just a different platform. You're just doing what you were doing before, just at a higher level on a different platform. And now in partnership with Gary Vee, but you were already doing it.
Isn't that crazy? I know, bro. That's the truth. Because I was talking to someone this past weekend, and they said the same thing. They're like, "Yo, you're kind of just like one of the last bloggers from that period of time that's still doing it." And they kind of said it as a joke because some people would be offended by that. I'm not offended, but you get what I'm saying. They were like kind of being funny, and I was like, "Hey, it's kind of true because, like you said, I've been doing this." And I'm still doing this. And also, honestly, bro, I interviewed someone this week, and they're a young emerging artist. Her name's Satoma, and she's in LA, but she's from Phoenix area. She's from Arizona. And anyway, I'll make it quick, but I just believe in her. So I interviewed her, and you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have very many followers at all, but the music is good, man. And that's why I'm going to do it. I'm probably just going to support people as long as I can because, that's what it's about for me is like just helping people out,
Where does that genuine passion come from in your wanting to help someone, to give them an opportunity, to put them on a platform, to give them a play, to give them a view, to allow them to share your story? Because, where we are right now, 2021, like not everyone's open to share if it's not in their best interest. Not everyone's open to lend a hand or assist. Or if you know what I was telling somebody the other day. This is crazy, right? So if you put a post, let's just say on Instagram, you put a post, and let's say it's like a reel. So the most important things on a reel is the view.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, she did a brand collaboration, and it's the biggest one she's ever done in terms of like how it performed. So I think probably as I am on this podcast with you, it probably close to like 50,000 views. So we were talking about it. I was showing her love. I was so excited for her. She was excited for herself. Then she's like, "Yo, it's crazy because I got 50,000 views, but I got like 80 something likes, and I have like even less comments." And I'm just like, think about it. When you post something, and this is going back to what Mike was talking about supporting, because I want him to kind of bring it home with it. But people are so, I think it's a combination of lazy, hesitant, and also in their best interest, unless it's something that is like hella trending and they want to ride the wave. It's way harder for someone to leave a comment Like if they leave a comment, that's like a real effort.
Yeah.
Like people will rather just look at your thing and not make any action. So if it's a reel, it's cool because you're gonna get the view. But if it's a post, you don't even get any view. You know what I'm saying? So a view is like you're gonna get that. A like, maybe. A comment is like, bro, I'm holding you down. So when I post something, I know you're gonna have to comment on mine. Like it's such a stress. The amount of ease it is to support someone on those type of levels, and how difficult it has now become for people to show love or support. Why? Like, what is it about you that you just want to be authentic, share, give, and extend opportunities to people? Like, where's that coming from? Because, bro, it is not something that is, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not regular, Mike. It's no longer regular. Maybe during the time during society, like, several years ago, it was like easy work. But it's very difficult to get people to even share on a base support on a basic level. So where does that come from you that you're still able to want to do that in this day and age?
No, I get what you're saying, man. Yeah. It's crazy. It like you said, it doesn't take a lot to support, but people are busy, man. And I try to tell artists that all the time. It's like, you got to think people who work at the record label, they have kids, they have wives, they have houses, they have cars, they got to drive back home from New York to New Jersey, whatever. Like people are busy, and like, I don't know. It's crazy. Like I try not to think too much about how things perform because you never know what's going through someone else's head. But I guess to answer your question, it was like, why am I supporting people?
Yeah. Why?
I just want to see people get a chance to win, man. Like I'm blessed. I'm super blessed, and my parents love me a lot, and I don't know, man. I've been through a lot of things in life, we don't have to go into it, but I've been through a whole lot. And I don't know, man. Like even the woman I interviewed this week, her parents are immigrants from Ghana, and I've been to Ghana and I loved it there, and I met a lot of the people in the country and all that stuff. It's just, I don't know, man. I was just kind of like, I just want to see her win. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, bro. I'm like not answering your question, but I just want to see people win. Like when I listen to a new artist in Atlanta and I hear their music and I feel that it's coming from the heart, I just want to support it. You know what I mean? I just want to support people who are doing what they love. You know what I mean? I want to do it.
Bro, you're just a good dude, man. And I don't want to say there's not a lot of good people, because there's tons of great people out here that have good hearts and good minds, and they're coming from an authentic place. But there are a lot of people that are not. You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to shine a light on that from you, because I believe it's like one of your gifts. But then also just allow you to realize that just keep doing that, keep being authentic, because you're making an impact and you're definitely changing people's lives on a couple of levels. But I think that's a level that may go unnoticed by a lot of people. But like you said, you throw them on that playlist, it could change their life. You answer that DM or whatever, like the same thing you've been doing. Now you're doing it, but the impact's even greater because of the leveraging and the relationships, the bigger platforms, in partnership with Gary Vee and things like that. So now when you do that, you're not doing it from like, okay, now I got all this power, so I'm hella selective with who I'm doing it with. No, you're still being the same dude,
Yeah, you're right, man. And yeah, you know what, to build off of it, because like, I don't know why it was so hard for me to answer that question, man. But to give you a good answer, it's like, I want to see these young people win. I see myself in them a lot of times. It's like, I just see certain parts of my past and some of these artists, or like different things from my family. I see it in some people, and I'm like, I wish someone helped me out. And I just want to give people a shot that I could provide. I can't do everything for everyone, but if I see that you really need some help and you're really taking your craft seriously, like I'll support it. And that you going back to that same woman, man, I pitched her to some big brands now, and I think I'm going to get her some money and get her some brand situations and like really help her out. She doesn't even have a manager. but she's dope, man. She's really dope. So I told her, I was like, you deserve it. And even in the interview, I was like, I'm gonna support you for the rest of your career, and so is Gary Vee, because you deserve it.
And who we talking about here?
Her name's Satoma, Satomaa. But she's dope. And when I told her that, it meant a lot to her, but I meant it because, as long as I'm alive and she's making music, I told her, you just got to keep me updated. But of course, I'm going to support. I'll throw you right in the playlist next to whoever else. It doesn't matter to me because you're quality. And that's like that. It's win-win, man. Even though I am being nice, it's win-win, because if my playlist is quality, then people are going to keep listening. And as long as she's making quality, she's getting streams. So it's like, it's all win-win, it's the best situation ever for me.
So you're really about that. And I think that's one of the things that, if people are listening and watching and waiting for the nuggets, I think that's definitely something that, that's a nugget right there. Like creating opportunities for people and for yourself, or in general, even if you're putting other people on, if you're connecting dots with other people, creating scenarios that end up being win-wins. So then like there's no pressure there. Everyone ends up, like you said, winning and coming off on top. And it's easier to get someone to say yes, when you're creating scenarios that end up benefiting, both parties or multiple parties.
Yeah, man. And if she goes, if like I help her start and then she takes it across the finish line, wouldn't that be awesome? I'd just be so happy for her. I'd be like, damn, we all won that one. You know what I mean? Because I'm fine. You know what I mean? I have my job and I'm happy, man. So like doesn't hurt me to help other people.
So how'd you get into music? Like, what was it about music and the passion behind your desire to work with some of these talented artists from the beginning, or just like where did this interest come from? Where did this passion come from? And how were you able to carve out your own little niche, in this industry?
Yeah, man. So, what's crazy is I like music just like everyone. Everyone likes music. It's crazy, but really what it was like in high school, I was the kid who would like sell mixtapes. You know what I mean? Like, and by mixtape, I just mean a CD with music on it. I don't even care what genre. I was just trying to make money. So like, some kids, so I went to like a rich person school, but I was like not very rich. So like I went to this high school, and some kid would be like, oh, I want The Who. I want their whole collection on a CD. I'd be like, I got you, bro. So then, I'd burn the CD, sell it to them. Downloading a lot of music, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day. And, some people would be like, oh, I want the new Kanye West. So I'd give it to them, whatever. But, and then in college, I just needed a job. I had, believe it or not, I had, I think 6 jobs at the same time. But the way I was able to do that senior year was because they all overlapped. So like I was Microsoft's college rep. I was Warner Music Group's college rep. I worked at the front desk of the school, promoted the nightclub, managed the DJ who DJ'd the nightclub. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like they all kind of overlapped, because it is kind of almost maybe it's impossible to have 6 jobs if they're all very different. Like it'd be hard to be a construction worker and be a journalist and be like a firefighter. You see what I'm saying? But like like being a college rep, you kind of got to go around and know everyone. So I could be 2 college reps at the same time. But yeah, I was pretty lucky, man, because see, Warner Music Group, I applied and they didn't accept me. And I applied to Sony, they didn't accept me, which is fine. But with Warner, I found out who they did give the job to. They gave it to this guy at Berkeley. And I told the guy at Berkeley, I was like, yo, if there's any genre you don't know that well, or like you need help, I'm here, bro. Like I'm here. I don't need money. Like I'll do it just to get in the door. And so he let me help him. And I knew hip hop more than he did. So I was like, all right, cool. I got all the hip hop artists on Warner now. So I was like pushing Gucci Mane and T.I. and I don't know, OJ the Juice Man and whatever. But Mike Jones, I brought Mike Jones around Boston. And like I did that stuff while he was a college rep. And then when he graduated, they needed to replace him. So then they let me take the job over because he left and he said, yo, you should hire Mike Boyd, because he was actually helping me the whole time. So then Warner Music Group was like, oh shit, if you're already in the game and you're doing it, why not just hire you? So then they let me be the college rep. And so then I was really going hard because I wanted a job. So then I saved up all my money, man, in college in a shoebox, just a bunch of cash. And I had like 2,900 or something. And I took a Chinatown bus or whatever they call it, from Chinatown to Chinatown, from Boston Chinatown to New York Chinatown. I took that bus, and then there's a school like system in New York City where you could be in this living situation. It's like a dorm for people who don't go to a school that has a dorm. And I don't know if I lied or not, but I gave them the cash and I told them like, hey, I want to stay here, even though I had graduated. And they kind of, I guess, overlooked that part that I wasn't a student or whatever. And it was a little nerve wracking because I didn't want to get caught. But yeah, I got to live in New York, in Brooklyn for like 2.5 months. And during that time, my Warner Music Group people were like, yeah, bro, if you move to New York City, meet with Atlantic Records, you could work here. So I took a meeting at Atlantic Records and we were trying to figure it out. And then I was also working at a restaurant as like a busboy or whatever. And I wasn't that good, believe it or not, but it was like a very popular restaurant on Wall Street. But like I was very bad. So my third day, they told me I don't have to come back. And the negotiations at Atlantic weren't really going great either. Because here's the thing, like, I just didn't have any money. So like, they didn't want to pay me much. And I'm like, well, shit, like, I don't even know if I could live in New York City without any money, man. So and then, the restaurant let me go. But when I was in college, I met AJ, who's Gary's brother. And so the day the restaurant let me go, I texted AJ Vaynerchuk. And I said, hey, I'd love to meet your brother, because I really did want to meet Gary. And I just said, hey, I'd love to get a photo with Gary for my TikTok. I'm sorry, for my Twitter, because he was really famous on Twitter in 2009. And so AJ was like, yeah, man, come through right now or whatever, because we're about to leave work. And this was, I guess, I don't know what month. It was July. It was July 2009. July 2009. So I went and I was dressed like a waiter or a busboy, like all black Converse that were like dirty from working at the restaurant. And I met Gary, and Gary knew a little bit about me because, see, I met AJ in college and we were like on the same floor in the dorm. And so AJ met me, and I was always talking about rappers who weren't famous yet, but then they became famous later, and he told his brother, because me and AJ were friends. So he told his brother, he's like, yo, have you ever heard of XYZ rapper or whatever? And then years later, they'd hear him on the radio. Remember, you know what I mean? And they would remember that. So when I met Gary, he already knew kind of who I was. And, I told him, I don't have a job or anything, but he told Gary's a really nice guy. And he told me on the spot, he's like, yo, you want to work for me? And I started the next day. And my role was, music relations. So what better way to get music relations than to go out and meet artists and do interviews,
I mean, first of all, that journey is crazy. But I think a couple of things I want to take from that is, when you were in college, you was hustling. You had a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
You had 6 jobs, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's people in college that don't got a job. You had 6 jobs.
I couldn't wait to graduate to get rid of all those, bro.
But you were applying to be, college rep at Warner.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that stands out to me is that when you didn't get it, the ego didn't prevent you to be like, you know what? Well, F the dude that got it. Like, you still was like, you know what? I'm going to build a relationship with this guy. If he needs something, I'm here. Right? And just that selfless act allowed you to build a relationship. And then you were able to leverage that relationship, shine a light on him, because since he was the actual college rep, you gave him gems because he had all of the hip hop dudes that you were finding. You were basically the background guy, but the background guy, or the next guy up, if we got, whatever, how you want to look at it. You shine a light on him, put him in position. What you were talking about earlier, you created a win-win scenario. So you've been doing that. Then when the dude graduated, he put in the word that was golden to now make sure that you secured the spot that basically you had a high percentage of value in anyway while he was there. So that's the first thing. The second thing I noticed is that, the job didn't work out. Terrible, terrible waiter.
The worst.
But you took a chance to live in New York with your last that you had at the time.
Yeah.
Figured out a situation just so you could stay, just so you could be around. Didn't really know what was going to come from that, but you were around. Then because you develop relationships, which again I feel like is one of your superpowers. You develop and nurture relationships, but you was doing that. So you got to Gary through his brother from a relationship that you nourished while you were in college. And because of how I know you, bro, you have the knack. You know the talent. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like a low vibration. You're very high vibration when it comes to spotting people that are going to like do wonderful things. I mean, I did that a little bit when I was in fashion because a lot of the people that we work with in terms of like brand partnerships, seedings, JV collaborations, they're all guys that ended up making it for real. Yeah. So like, I always used to joke around like, oh, I could have been like a low, like a lightweight A&R, you know what I'm saying? Because like the Kendricks and the Nicoles and the Big Seans and the Spitters, you know what I'm saying? And the Childish Gambinos and
Chance the Rapper, right?
Chance the Rapper, like, and there's a bunch of other artists, but every one of these artists, like I started to reach out to and work with and build relationships with them long before. I think even with Big Sean, he had just gotten signed to Good Music, so ain't nobody was checking for Big Sean at that time. Right. But like I knew that he was nice. Like he had them Lemonade mixtapes. Like I'm like, bro, this dude is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I built a relationship. But to go back to you, you've been doing this, bro. So it just makes sense that when you had that opportunity to finally meet Gary and he extended, a space for you to come on and work with him, like you didn't know what that was going to be. He may not even knew what it was going to be, but he knew that it was something in you that you see in a lot of other people. So it just kind of made sense. And that was 2009, so it's 2021, so it's been 12 years, right? It's about 12 years?
Yeah.
It's been about 12 years that you've been solidifying your position, working with Gary Vee and VaynerMedia and helping a lot of artists. So when did you start like taking the management part of this of that more serious? Because you have worked with different artists, recording artists, and managers in your time, and you still manage Richie South, correct?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, when did you decide? You know what? I want a little bit more intimate relationship. I know you mentioned you kind of helped the DJs back in college as well. But like, when did you feel like you wanted to get a little bit more hands on? And even still, what was it about certain artists that you was like, yo, this guy is a guy I need to be, a little closer to because he has it, like. Which is a different level of just Spartan talent.
And you're talking about management specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll tell you. So so basically, I started working with Gary Vee and VaynerMedia 2009, right? And it was very much, early days. Like I think I might have been employee number 6 or 7, and we'd like go out to lunch as a company. You know what I mean? Like it was early days. Now there's like 1,000 employees worldwide. But yeah, man, I did that for years, and I learned like the ad agency side of things, and it was early days, man. It's a lot easier for me to do a music brand collaboration in 2021 than it was in 2009. It just is for me. It just is for me. But and VaynerMedia, you know what I mean? Because like I said, we were early days, man. But and I have more of a track record that I could prove through video, email, whatever you want to call it. Like things have been documented. So people want to take a risk on me because it's always about a risk, man. Like even when I do brand deals right now, it's like, I'm like, hey, brand XYZ, this man or this woman's next, and then the brand people have to be like, really? Like, do I want to put my money behind this artist? Like, do I believe? And it's like, you almost have to help them see the future, but yeah, I was doing the brand side for so long. And I think there was just something inside me that was like, maybe I could be a great manager. And I kind of wanted to take that risk. But then also, here's the funniest part. I knew worst case scenario, I would learn a lot from the other side. So it's like I'm on the brand side. I was on the label side in college or whatever as a college rep, but now I could be the manager. So now I can be on the flip side. So worst case scenario, I'll at least learn something, and then I could probably go get another job, right? So yeah, I started. What happened was I just started helping people. All my relationships have just been from helping people, like Future, whoever, Young Thug, whoever. Like I just help, and then stuff happens. So like I was helping a lot of Atlanta rappers in 2013, and one of them told me like, "Hey, I appreciate the help. You want to be my manager?" You know, and it's a little bit more complicated, obviously, than just that. But that was a direct quote, you know, and so it's like I was like, man, maybe this is my chance. So I tried it out, worked really hard, tour managed 5 tours, 4 in America, 1 in Europe, and or 4 in the United States of America, I should say, and 1 in Europe. And that was great. And he was a forward-facing artist, musician. And then I managed a video director as well. And we did a lot of great videos. My proudest moment is when in 2013 when Young Thug had Stoner, the song Stoner going crazy. He was still very new though, but he did have a hit regionally or however you want to call it. But I went up to Thug because I saw him in the street in Atlanta, and I went up to him and I was like, "Yo, bro, we'll shoot a video for Stoner right now." And I had my phone out and I showed him like what my director did, you know, like some of his work, and Thug liked it, and he was like, "All right, hell yeah, let's do it." So we all got in our cars and went to I think Peewee Longway's place, and we were gonna shoot it. But we didn't have enough time because Thug had to perform in like an hour. So we only had 4. I think we shot a video in 45 minutes for a song called Load It. And that was a big moment in Atlanta for Thug and Peewee Longway because it was a really great video. My video guy was really talented. And yeah, we shot that video in 45 minutes. And yo, you know what? For anyone listening, we didn't get paid and we didn't ask to get paid because I know some people need money, and I've needed money in my life. Even earlier in this conversation, I said I needed money or I couldn't really live in New York. But at that moment, we let go of the cash. You know, how much would we even have gotten? You know, a couple $100 maybe. And we just did the damn thing because we were like, shit, 45 minutes, but this is Young Thug. He's about to be humongous one day. So like, you know, we shot that video, and I think Thug gave me his Gmail password. I uploaded it to YouTube myself. You know what I mean? Like it was early days, bro. Yeah, I logged in as him and I uploaded it to his account. And that video was big. Like they played it in all the Atlanta clubs. Like it was a big moment for him and Peewee Longway. Yeah, and then I managed Richie South because years later, I think I've been managing Richie for 7 years, 6 or 7 years. But when I met Richie, he was a quiet guy sitting in the corner of someone else's studio setup. And I heard some of his beats and I was like, damn, these beats are amazing. But then I met him and he was so humble and so nice. And then I left shortly after and I was riding home with whoever I was with. And I turned to that person. I said, you know, that guy, Richie South, he's going to make it, man, because he's just so nice. You know what I mean? And that's another thing people need to hear because what I mean by that is he was very humble and very nice, and people want to work with that. You know what I mean? It's even like looking at a corporate job. It's like when you go in for your interview, they're trying to figure out if they want to sit next to you. You know what I mean? Like no one wants to work in a cubicle next to someone who's a jerk. You know what I mean? It's like when I was with Richie for the first time I met him, I like looked right in his eyes and I was like, damn, this guy's really nice, you know? So it's like when he goes in the studio with Future or a Boogie or Playboy Cardi or whoever it is, like he's not going to be a dick. And if he's not a dick, people will invite him back. You know what I mean? Like everyone could vibe, man. It's like how all the rappers and whoever genre of music, like everyone wants a good vibe in the studio. You don't want, who would want to work with a jerk? You know what I mean? And like, I'm not saying you can't make it if you're mean. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the way I operate, when I see someone who has positive vibes, I'm like, all right, I could get behind that.
If you watching, if you're listening, Mike out here dropping gems. You know what I'm saying? There's another gem. So if you didn't pick it up, I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna drop it for y'all. So what Mike said is, you know, referencing Thug, he created an opportunity that was another win-win, right? Because you had someone that you was working with, managing. You know, you had your videographer. Thug was still, like you said, it was early days. I think you actually introduced me to him with Stoner, if I remember correctly. You know, I that moment is in my mind. I think that's literally how I learned about Young Thug.
Yeah, I sent it to everyone I knew, man.
Yeah, and then you were willing to do a video for free.
Yeah.
In a compressed amount of time with an iPhone.
No, my guy had a camera.
Okay.
But legit 45 minutes, man. That's not a joke. And if you watch the video, it's pretty good for 45 minutes.
But the point is here, you took a risk, you leveraged your opportunity, created another win-win scenario, and then, Thug got a piece of content that was great. And like you said, it was a great moment for him and obviously a great moment for Atlanta. And, I think the common thread here has been win-win scenarios, has been, being very authentic, being yourself and just doing things out of the sheer will of wanting to help other people, which I think is very, very important for those that are watching and listening. And then also like doing things like just being nice, like you said, just being nice. Like, okay, you highlighted Richie South as, he's nice and humble and like, people want to be around good vibes. But I think, like attracts like, so like that's who you are as well. Like you know what I mean? So like when you're in these rooms with these artists, when you meet these artists and when you're creating these opportunities from even, the early days to now, like that the vibe, they know they're gonna get you. They can feel that authenticity. They see y'all how nice you are, and things like that. So I think those are definitely more gems that you've definitely been sharing. And even how you got into music, how you ended up working with Gary, the evolution of you being a manager, and then creating your niche, because you didn't know that you was gonna work with Gary Vee. You just had a passion for music, and you building relationships. I mean, you didn't know what that break was gonna be. You didn't know what the opportunity was gonna be, but you had passion behind what you were doing, and you had faith in yourself and in a high self-belief. So opportunity came and you were able to turn it into a 12+ year situation.
That's real, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Yeah. And you know what's funny is that I think not until very recently did I even fully, truly, honestly, 100% even know what my goal even is. You know what I mean? Like I've been just running, bro. I've been running. I went to college and kind of never went back to Missouri. Not really, like not fully, and I'm happy now, man. But yeah, I just been grinding, bro. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, damn, you know what? I'm proud of myself. You know what I'm saying? But like for a long time, I was just running, bro. I was running. I was managing. I was tour managing. Like it's a tough job when you're not in a tour bus. You know what I mean? Like I was not the headlining act. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like oh man, like I've kind of been through some things, and like I got to clarify though, like I've not been the worst. Like there's people who've had it way worse than me, but I'm just saying like I've been running, bro. I've been really running.
And where would you say right now, like where you on the pursuit to? Like where you running towards now? Do you feel like you have more of a clear vision of what's up next?
Yeah, I want to really build out this music marketing with Gary Vee, man, and VaynerMedia, and dive into NFTs more. But that's really what it is, because we got to a point finally, like I briefly mentioned, when we started doing this in 2009, a lot of brands didn't want to work with Titty Boy, and then he became 2 Chainz, and then he got with Kanye, and then brands want to work with him. I almost got Kendrick Lamar a brand deal. I don't know what year that was, 2010, 2011, whatever year Section 80 came out in. But brands didn't really take that risk. You know what I'm saying? It's like we did a brief thing with Travis Porter. I did a small thing with Mac Miller. And I'm talking like at the beginning of their careers, like long time ago. But I connected Young Jeezy with Avion Tequila. That was pretty big. But what I'm saying is like now in 2021, man, the stuff I'm about to do is crazy. And it's like what's funny is like you've known me for a long time, and I'm so grateful for everything you said. But it's like it's almost gotten to the point where like I'm just about to get started now. You know what I mean? It's like I've been working hard. Like I said, I've been running, I've been jumping, I've been manager, I've been this, I've been that. I've been in New York, I've been in Atlanta, I've been in Missouri, I've been wherever. But I feel like now it's all about the start for me. It's not crazy.
So you mentioned the NFT. So what's your take on what Tory Lanez recently done with his NFT album? And what do you think about like how that's going to change the trajectory of like artists rolling out music and selling music and like really monetizing their art?
Yeah, I think everyone when they do their NFTs, they got to be real mindful. Like maybe do some research on what Gary Vee did. I think the main thing people need to keep in mind is accessibility. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if you did an NFT and your podcast was how people knew you, like, you know, those were the people buying the NFT, and you told people like, hey, you know, like when you buy this NFT, you get to sit in on one of my podcasts. Even if it's in StreamYard, you're like in the background, like you get to watch it and see how it actually happens and maybe learn how to like get some tips for your own podcast one day. Like that's the point, I think, to me, is like, yeah, I want to own a picture, a video that's cool, but also like, you know, like Casey Musgraves dropping her album, I think tomorrow or whatever. And I saw a photo of how she has like a bed in the studio. And it's like if she had an NFT and it was like, yeah, you know, you get to come stop by the studio in Nashville or wherever, and you get to like see the bed and like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I think that like for Gary, right, one of his NFTs, you get to sit courtside at a basketball game with him, like probably once a year. One NFT, you get to I don't know, do something else with Gary, be on his podcast. It's like, I think that's what it's all about, man. And I don't think some people are doing it that way. Not everyone, but it's like, you gotta just constantly be giving people stuff. I don't know the details of Tory Lane. I don't know the details. I think he made money, right? I don't know the details on that.
Yeah, he sold his album. He made an NFT that it was limited to 1 million, and he sold that album that was limited only to people that bought the NFT for $1. You know, so he has over 20 million followers, subscribers, whatever. So less than 1%. You know, is the math is there, right? Monetize, purchase that for one album, or you could buy 10, 20, 30 of them because it's only 10, 20, $30. And then he was able to sell his NFT for $1 million in a minute. But I think what you're saying is like, I feel you because you're giving people the opportunity within, you know, Gary Vee's NFTs to take part in experiences.
Yeah.
And I think those are very valuable because, to your point, you're creating experiences and creating moments where most people wouldn't have the opportunity to ever be a part of or ever see how it's going down or get that close and intimate. So that's worth the price of admission.
I agree, man. And yeah, that's like goes back to what we say every 5 minutes on this episode is win-win, right?
Win-win.
It's like if you're famous, you know, if you're Drake, like of course everyone's gonna buy your NFT and you're gonna make millions of dollars, but like what did you do for them? You know, it's like you got to kind of be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna get all your money, but you're gonna come hang out with me in Toronto. You know what I mean? Like it has to be win-win. And you know what else, man? It's like people say good marketing's the quickest way to kill a bad product, because if you really did sell, if you tricked everyone, like let's say you did an NFT and you really didn't put a lot of good effort into it and like you didn't care, you were just in it for the money, and if everyone bought that NFT, then they'd all hate you. So it's like, yeah, you got a lot of money, but now you're done, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't want to do that. Like, I think that's actually a bad idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I definitely understand that. I think one of the things that I even cherish with what I do now with my clients is like, you know, providing value. You know, like if you're overly providing value, I still give a lot of coaching and consulting advice for free. You know, I put people onto things. You know, I don't hold nothing back. You know, and I'm able to have clients that pay me a good amount of coin because I'm over giving them value. Yeah. And I'm not like, well, listen, here's the information, bro. Like, you could do it on your own. You know, you can experience by yourself, or if you want, someone like myself to help you get there faster, or literally be there with you step by step and have someone to bounce ideas off and make sure you're making the right plays and setting things up. Yeah, I mean, you could join, and you can, here's a service that, would be probably good for you. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But here's the information. Like, I'm not like, okay, let me hold that. Oh, you don't want, okay. It ain't like that. Like, it's like, I'm a giver. Like, I'm gonna provide the value. And, that's what you're saying. Like, creating that value, creating scenarios. Again, that's win-win. That value, that win-win, being nice, experiences. I think those are really the running themes with our episode, for sure. So if you're not a good person and you're watching this, hopefully by the end of this, you become a good person. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it pays off, man.
So yeah, Mike, I want to definitely thank you for spending some time with us, spending some time with me, sharing a little bit of your story, your experiences in music and strategy, working closely with Gary Vee, working closely with like a lot of up and coming artists. And I just want to say thank you for continuing to give people opportunities to shine their light and to motivate and inspire others. Because, I mean, you're helping to change people's lives, even with the small listen sessions you may do. You might be in the car or at the crib or whatever. Like you said, you still create moments to listen to people that are brand new, emerging, up and coming. And then if it makes sense, like, yo, this dude's good, I'm gonna throw him on a playlist. Like, it's easy. Like,
Hell yeah. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And yo, like, just to clarify, like, when I say I've been running, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm not perfect at all. I deal with a lot just like everyone else, but like I just feel like I've been working so hard and so many things like we covered in the podcast, and like now I feel like I'm hitting the groove, bro. And what's crazy is like I've done a couple interviews and they're real like answer question answer, like real quick, cut dry, whatever. But like I told you like the real truth, man, because it's like I've known you forever, and like it's just real shit, because like people young people, they might go on the Instagram and be like, oh, how do I get to that spot, or how do I be like this guy or that girl or whatever, and it's like life is crazy, man. You just gotta keep it moving, man, and you gotta bet on yourself. Like I believe in me.
100%,
for real.
100%, man. I believe in you too, Mike.
I believe in you, bro. I need to get your workout. I need to get your workout regimen, bro. You've always been in shape.
Listen, I'm gonna let you know like this. I think one of the best things you could do, if you're not already doing it, because you have a lovely wife at the crib, make it a new non-negotiable, if you're not already doing this, for both you guys to walk together every day.
Walk, yeah.
Yeah, if you can make it a set time or in and around a set time, depending on your schedule, or just say, hey, we're going to do this every day together. Not only are you going to work out, right? You're going to get the body moving, was the most important thing, but you're going to be able to like be present with your wife, which is going to add value to your relationship and value to your marriage, but it's going to help both of your bodies. So like I work out twice a day, like I work out in the morning, sometime between 5 and 6, and I work out again in the evening. But both workouts are not high intensity. Sometimes the second workout is just a walk, like I said. In these walks, bro, ideas like being hella present.
Yeah.
Like manifestation happens. Like just having time to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things I would recommend. But if you do want to work on a regimen, obviously, I'll give it a drip, bro.
Oh my God. Yo, you want to hear a quick story, bro?
Hell yeah.
You got time?
Of course. This is your episode, bro. This is your episode, man.
Yo, this is kind of between me and you, but I think everyone could hear it. You know what's crazy? When I was in high school, my little brother was like the star athlete. And so I had to stay after school to drive him home. So I was like, well, damn, I might as well get in shape. So I joined cross country, and I was so bad. Like the coach literally told me I should quit. He was like, I don't know why you're here. You should just quit. Like he literally said that, but I had nothing else to do, so I just didn't quit. I needed to get in shape. So anyway, I couldn't run a mile. I had to walk, right? Like how you said, walking is actually important. I couldn't really run at first. I had to walk. So I'd be like with my friends, we were all like really bad. We were the really put bad people on the team who couldn't run. Anyway, I kept getting better every week. And by the end of the season, this is very unhealthy probably, I lost 40 pounds in I think 2 months, and I became the 7th fastest cross-country runner in St. Louis.
From walking.
Can you believe that? From walking. I started off walking because I just couldn't run, but I didn't give up. I was like, I would jog and then I would walk. But I think it's actually something people don't know, like how you were saying. As long as you cover the distance, your body is like getting something out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like, there's high interval. What was it? HIIT. So there's HIIT, right? There's HIIT workouts, and then there's like, the opposite of that, which I feel like is walking. So you can go hard for like 60 seconds or whatever, or you could just walk. So you're going to burn the calories faster if you're doing some high intensity. But if you're doing slow intensity, you can still burn the calories, but you're able to be more present. You're able to be more in the moment. You're able to take in like the energies of what's around you. Like if you drive by the same street versus if you bike by the same street versus if you walk by the same street, it's all different vibrations. You get to see it differently. You get to smell things differently. You're not smelling nothing in that area if you're in the car. If you're on a bike in that area, you're going to pick up different things. You may smell some things, but it's hella different if you're walking. You like all your senses are heightened. Like everything's working. So, bro, you probably need to get back on the walking, bro.
I know. I'm gonna do it. Here's another one real quick. For anyone who's still listening. One of the reasons I think I was able to get so much success with finding artists and making my bets and seeing my bets pay off on who might blow up is because of this. I've been thinking about it, right? I've been trying to figure it out. And yeah, maybe I just have like a little bit of a talent there or something, but I'm a middle child. I'm from middle America. I've lived in Atlanta. I've lived in Boston. I've lived in New York, spent a lot of time in LA. My grandparents are immigrants from Mexico and Ireland. So I have like different backgrounds. You see what I'm saying? And then also, like I told you earlier, I went to a rich high school, but I wasn't like a rich person. You know what I mean? But then I also lived in a neighborhood where I might have been one of the richer people in that neighborhood, but then I was one of the not richer people at high school. It's like, and then I went to a really rich college, Boston University. And it's like, I've just been around so many types of people and I've just been around the map. And I think, and then when I listen to music, I don't necessarily just playlist what I like. Like, that's not really the goal. I playlist what I believe in. You see the difference is like, I might hear a song. It's not like I'm just running around my house listening to that damn song. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I just hear a song and I'm like, damn, this person deserves to be on the playlist. You know what I mean? Or Gary Vee, he might text me a song. That really happens. Gary will text me a song and I'm like, all right, it's on the playlist. You see what I'm saying? It's like, this is not a playlist that's like selfishness. This is not like, hey, check out what I like. Like, it's not about that. It's about, I find songs and I think to myself, would my brother back in St. Louis like this? Would my friend in LA like this? Would my cousin in this country like this? You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, if all these people like it, then I need to playlist it because more people need to hear this. You see what I'm saying? It's like, and I think that's part of why I've had so much success with that. Because sometimes people are too close to it. Like you might be like, oh, this is the hottest guy in my neighborhood. But you got to take a step back and be like, yo, just because he's the hottest person in your neighborhood doesn't mean people in the Northeast care. You know?
I think you're right about that. You have a unique wealth of experiences in a lot of different facets, so you're able to take, like you said, Atlanta, Missouri, Boston, New York, Los Angeles, mixed background. You've been around rich kids that are not so rich. You've been in a privileged position to go to one of the top schools in Boston. That's the inner city of Boston. But you always have your pulse on, what's emerging in the areas that maybe a lot of people don't have exposure to. And then you're able to connect those dots and create those win-win situations, man. Like, I think, did you just think of that right now?
No, I've been thinking about that for a long time, man. But it's hard to even explain that to someone. And you know what else? In St. Louis, the radio plays local artists, but they also play a lot of Atlanta artists. I've been just blessed, man. Like growing up listening to a radio station that's regional, that also gives you a mindset of what people like, it's crazy.
I think you hit it on the head, man. I think that's definitely it. Like, if someone wants to, get things, if they want to get their thing out, or if they want to gain more exposure, just build relationships, you got to get out. So you may or may not be able to get physically out. Maybe it's a situation where you just can't. But you can get out through social media and the internet and make those real connections. And then when you're able to like bring them home in real life, you're able to really take advantage of it. I mean, it's the same thing with us. Like we met through through online. But when I was in New York, I'm like, yo, Mike, what's up? I'm in New York. What's good? Same thing with you. You're like, yo, I'm in Boston. I'm about to pull up. I got a show coming for the weekend. My bro's in New York. Whatever, I'm in Boston, whatever the case is. And then you're able to like add more on top of the relationships that you built online. It's different when it's a real connection. And then you just have the wealth of experiences. Like me, I've been in Boston my entire life. But I live in LA now. But every opportunity I had to travel outside of Boston, I met so many people. So when I go to these different places, I could pull up, or I could crash.
Yeah.
Or how many people I put onto Toronto? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, are you okay when you in there? Go here. Yo, let me run that DM. Let me run that text. Let me send that email. All right, you good. You build those relationships. You plant those seeds. You create opportunities. Like you said, it's running theme. Win-win. You're authentic. You're nice. You're just a genuine person. People are going to recognize that. And when they recognize that, those real, true, authentic relationships will stand the test of time. Even if you don't always water them. You and I haven't seen each other in a minute, but it's like we've seen each other yesterday because it's a real connection. It's a real authentic relationship. If I hit you up, you know what it is. If you hit me up, I know what it is. So when you build something like that, that's authentic and you're selfless, that relationship is going to be what it's going to be. So I think that if you're someone that is trying to elevate yourself in life or in business, I think that's one of the most important things to get from out of yourself and do something for others. And don't be afraid to make connections or reach out. Like sow them seeds. It may sprout 6, 9, 18, 3 years. But once it does, like another thing too, I think people expect movement on their time. Like they're not very cognizant of, other people have lives and things to do. So like if someone doesn't get back to me in a time frame that I feel like someone should get back to me, then like, forget them or this didn't work. But like everyone has their own time frame. Maybe they didn't see the DM. Maybe the DM's not really in the unread. Maybe it's like in the friend request.
Yeah.
Maybe the email log or the DM log so long that person's not going to get you for a couple of months. Maybe like you said, you could spam like, hey bro, check it out. Check your DM. Oh, here's an email. Or maybe just providing value. I think, what's his name? What's the real estate dude? Ryan, in New York, the big one.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I can't believe I forget his last name. But anyway, he said that there was a client he was trying to get. So for like a month straight or 2 months straight, or maybe it was like a year. It was like a long time. He was sending this dude like books and like gifts and like, you know what I'm saying? Just consistently because he wanted to build our relationship. And then eventually he got the opportunity to represent, that listing with multi-million-dollar listing. But that's the thing. You just have to continue to do things for people that are not for you, And if you're creating situations, like you said, they either got to be selfless, authentic, or they're win-win situations that everyone that's involved is going to be able to take advantage of, and it's going to be good for everyone.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right. And I know a lot of people might be struggling with how to get there, but I think if you really just kind of like, I don't know, if you're happy with what you have and you're just a little grateful for life a little bit, it's like it doesn't take a lot just to send some love to someone else's way, even if it's just once a week. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if I see someone killing it, like I just saw some jeweler who's like starting out as like 1,000 followers. And I just, followed him and shot him a DM. I was like, yo, your stuff is really great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, send them my way. I might need some jewelry. Who knows?
Yo, this stuff is really great. And then randomly, I showed it to Gary. Then Gary just shot him a DM. And but it's like, I don't need jewelry. I don't wear jewelry, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do that. But like,
and who's that jeweler so we can show some love on the pod?
Oh shit, let me pull it up.
Yeah. Let's show him some love on the pod. Everybody gets love. You get love. You get love. You get love. You in the back. You get love too.
Oh my God, this is amazing. All right, you ready? It's Marvin Douglas Jewelry. So it's MarvinDouglas Jewelry. Marvin Douglas, I guess that's his name. He only has 3 posts, but yo, it's so
Shout out
dope.
to Marvin Douglas Jewelry. Shout out to Marvin Douglas Jewelry.
He's dope, man. And yeah, my guy, Ugly Primo, he's out in LA. That's how I found him. Ugly Primo was just showing him love, and I clicked through, and I was like, damn, you're dope. So I just sent him some love. But that's what it's all about. Because if I was a young jeweler trying to make my name, and someone told me I was great, I'd be like, damn, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, why not?
Oh yeah, bro. But listen, man, you bless us with a lot of your time, a lot of gems, lots of stories. I mean, I could talk to you for hours, bro. To be honest with you. So I want to thank you for being on the pod, bro. I really, really appreciate you. I'm grateful for this moment. I can't wait for this episode to go live. So if you're watching right now, I was waiting for this to be out. So thank you. You're welcome.
Hell yeah. Yo, man, I love you, man. You mean so much to me, bro. Thanks for always being there for me. And thanks for always giving me free clothes, man. That meant a lot. It really did.
Yeah. We'll talk about a little bit of society on another episode, man.
Oh my God. All right, bro. Well, yo, I gotta go. Thanks, man.
For sure, man. This is Brennan Boyd with Mike Boyd. This is the On the Pursuit Podcast. And we'll see you guys on another episode.